Yes, I stayed in the Philippines, and the reason might surprise you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to share with you about my journey moving from Latin America all the way over here to the Philippines. I can't say that this is the first time I've ever left everything behind and moved to a new country. As I'm originally from Antigua, born and raised, I later moved to Dominican Republic, which is my mother's birth country, with my family right after high school. However, this time it is a bit different. Kasi while I had family back in Dominican Republic, here in the Philippines, I didn't in the beginning, so I basically started from zero. I'm sure you've probably heard this story so many times from so many foreigners as to why they moved to the Philippines, whether it's because it's cheaper, more women, passport bros. But that's not the reason why I decided to choose the Philippines as a place for me to build a new life. It should have been a couple months of vacation turned into a year of a staycation. It's been an incredible adventure. Sobrang excited talaga to share my experience with you guys. Now, when I first arrived in the Philippines, I must admit that I was a bit scared. Just like everyone else, I did read online about people's bad experience and being scammed. This is why you should take everything on the internet with a grain of salt. In my case, I was just a tiny bit skeptical because before my arrival, I met a friend online due to SB19. Like many others, I've met some friends through that community. My friend was supposed to meet me at the airport on the day of my arrival. However, due to an emergency, she couldn't make it. So instead, she sent a Grab. Now, I watch a lot of movies. Therefore, the amount of scenarios that I was building in my brain were endless. But it was just me overthinking because with her help and the Grab driver, I was able to get to my location safe and secure. Although I didn't have family here in the Philippines, I did have a few online friends I met through SB19, and they helped me settle and adjust during my first days being here in the Philippines. Maraming salamat kasi without your help, I don't think my adjustment here in the Philippines would have gone so smoothly. So that brings me to the first impression I had about the Philippines: the Filipino hospitality. I read so much about it, and I'm grateful that I was able to experience it, and I'm still experiencing it to this day. You don't just extend that hospitality to other Filipinos, you also extend it to foreigners. I can't say everyone, they are, a few, yeah. Pero the majority of Filipinos are very welcoming. Being here after a while, you start feeling more at home. Now, there are many similarities and differences between the Latin American and Filipino culture. And if you would like a more in-depth comparison, let me know in the comment section and maybe we can create a separate video on this. And we can do it with JC so that way we can both share things about our culture. The major one I notice in differences would be festivals and celebration. While both regions celebrate religious festivals, the specific custom and types of festival, they differ. For instance, the Philippines has a unique celebration like Sinulog and Pahiyas. I hope I'm pronouncing them right. While in Latin America, we have Carnival and Dia de los Muertos. Which brings me to the language. Spanish is prominent in Latin America, of course, but in the Philippines, you guys have over 175 languages, not dialects, languages. Funny thing about the language, you have some words that can easily confuse Latinos. Because there's some words that sound the same, but they have different meanings. Some look the same, but they're kind of like a little bit spelled differently. For example, siempre, siempre, which sounds the same, but they have different spelling and they both have different meanings. And then there's a famous puto. It's very funny when a Latino person hears a Filipino say puto for the first time. And low-key, it's been my favorite word to hear and use sometimes, especially with my family, since it confuses my mom. But I quickly show her that, no, this is what puto really means. What I've noticed with similarities would be religion and colonial history. Both regions have strong Catholic influence due to Spaniard colonization, and both cultures have high value on family, with strong ties to extended family and focus on community and support. That is something I felt very familiarized with, the way that everyone treats each other and the way that family are always together and celebrate and party. It's the same as back home. I haven't experienced some of this as a Latina. I didn't really have much of a culture shock when I came to the Philippines. It was more of a familiarity and a feeling of belonging. It just felt like I didn't leave my home. Even though I took a plane and traveled for 3 days, yes, dalawa, tatlo days, I didn't feel out of place. But if I do have to pick a shocking aspect, it will be in regards to a few foods, a few of the Filipino cuisines, because some of it I've never had before, never seen before. Like isa ng manok and the infamous balut. Balut. Another thing that did surprise me as well was the menu at the fast food restaurants like KFC and McDo, because you guys have like rice, spaghetti, and chicken included in your menu, while back home we have the regular menu that you would usually see at KFC and McDo. You know what? Latinos also do love rice. Rice is life. So I'm surprised that they haven't actually added that to the menu. Before coming to the Philippines, I did know about adobo and sinigang, and these were the two main dishes that I was eager to try because I love sour food. Sour food puts a smile on my face, and I just knew from reading about it, these food would really fit my taste palette. I was not disappointed. Whether I ate them at restaurants or they were home cooked by my pogi jowa, they were all masarap, honestly. And they are my go-to meals till this day. I can eat that meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner if it's available. Adobo and sinigang. Sinigang, gang, gang. So by this point, you're probably wondering, okay, Chachi, so what was the reason you stayed? Now, most of you know I came originally for SB19 for their concerts. And if you don't know, then yes, I am a big fan. Through SB19, I started exploring more P-pop groups. While I originally came for SB19, I stayed for more than just their music. Kasi learning about the Filipino culture has actually inspired me to learn more about mine. So one action is leading to another. Since I've been living here, I've actually grown closer to God. I grew up going to church, but during my teenage and young adult life, I kind of took a step back from the congregation. Although I still believed in God, I lost my motivation to attend Mass. Being here has really changed that for me, and one of the main reasons for that change was attending Misa de Gallo. And that was actually the first time in my life. We did do a vlog on that, talking about our experience doing Misa de Gallo and recording our 9 days going to Misa de Gallo at 4 a.m. in the morning. So if you haven't seen that video and would like to see what it was like, then I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can go ahead and check it out. My creativity has also flourished. Now, making and editing videos has always been my thing since way back, since the days of Movie Maker. And the fact that I'm able to still do that here while also connecting to back home made me feel like I found my life's purpose again. And then finding love, not to say I couldn't find it back home, but for some reason I just knew the one God has for me wasn't there. And honestly, when I came here, I had no intention of meeting anyone in that type of relationship. I was just focused on P-pop and concert, just exploring the Philippines. But life doesn't always go as you planned. And sometimes you end up meeting someone you want to spend the rest of your life with. And if he's also a God-fearing man, then why not give it a chance? Everything happens for a reason. All of this made me grow into a more mature adult. I spent my childhood and my teenage years back in Antigua. I spent my young adult, all my 20s in the Dominican Republic, and now I'm spending my 30s, which I still consider as a young adult, just, kind of mid-adult-ish. I'm going to be spending that here in the Philippines. Although I have my jowa here, it's still the first time I've been away from my family, my parents, for such a long time. We are really close, so this kind of independence is new for me. Sometimes I honestly don't know what to do, how I got here, what's my next step. There are moments I do feel a little discouraged. But moving to the Philippines has been a journey of personal growth. I've learned to be more patient, more open-minded, and more resilient. I've also learned to appreciate the little things in life, like a warm smile and a kind word. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. I found a new home, new friends, new sense of purpose, and I am grateful for every moment of it. So, to answer your question, why I stayed in the Philippines, we can say it was mainly because God, but also because of love. But then again, that comes from God too, so let's just leave it at my reason for staying was thanks to God. Now, this was a fun video to make, and if you want to see any more videos related to my culture, let us know in the comments. Definitely have JC included in the next one, so that way we can share from both of our perspectives in regards to each other's culture. I've left the link of our playlist so you can indulge yourself in some of our adventures. I promise you they're very funny. See you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Adios. Paalam!